Hello, I'm Richmond with West Coast Collector Cars in Oregon, and today I've got an exceptional 1956 Chevrolet 210 hardtop to show you. Just to give you a little brief background, this is a one family owned car. The man that purchased it in 1956 gave it to his grandson in 1968. He still owns it today, and he's had it completely restored by a professional company. They did an excellent job on it. And so this is just really a very nice, clean, original, no rust, 55,193 mile car. So let me take you around and show it to you, and I'll start it. Sounds great, runs very good, very strong. The engine was originally, of course, a 265. That's long gone. He put a 350 in it, and I think they sold off the 265 to help kind of supplement the new 350 in it in particular. But let me take you around the car and show it to you, and we'll take it around the parking lot so you can see it drive, hear it run, and so forth. So anyway, originally this car started off in India Ivory and Onyx Black, and they maintained that same paint scheme when they restored it, so it's still the ivory and the black, but it's beautiful. It's just straight as a pin. So this is now done in a base coat, clear coat. Of course, all the original trim is on the car and present. It's not dinged up. It's nice. I suspect they restored it as well. But you'll notice panel fit here is just nice as it can be. He also put all new glass in it, and as you can see here, it's tinted. So it's got a really nice smoke tint to it. All this trim is nice. The flappers on the doors work perfect. Those are always kind of a question about it. Paint is beautiful. Can't emphasize that enough. The wheels are 16-inch Krager 5 spokes, and they've got these G-Force TAs all the way around. They're new. Fit the car nicely, and you'll notice this is the back of the car. We got 4-wheel disc brakes here, so power 4-wheel disc brakes on the car. All of the chrome, or the chrome pieces, have been re-chromed. So this is all the original components for the car, the bumpers and the taillights and so forth. They've just been re-chromed. And of course, you know, the little where your fuel is there, nice and clean wiring and so forth. This is a painless wiring kit, so all the wiring is new and updated as well. Let me show you in the trunk here while we're here. Trunk has been finished off like the interior, so it's been finished off in this charcoal gray leather and this nice deep cut carpeting here. And this is just that's just a cubby hole back there. You can kind of see that if you look at the website. I don't want to unlock it, but even up under here, as you can see, they finished this off too, nice and padded. Trunk closes nice and easy. Again, all your shut lines, body panels and so forth, nice and clean and straight. Of course, all the weather stripping and everything was replaced when the car was restored. The paint's been on this car. The restoration was completed in about 2005, so we're talking about 12 years. And the deal is, the car had about 53,000 and some miles on it when the man's grandson inherited the car, and he just didn't use it at all. So it lived in eastern Washington, which, if you're not familiar with the area, kind of high desert, very dry. The grandson moved in 1981 to La Grande, Oregon, which is also high desert, very dry, and the car always lived inside but didn't get used until 2005 when they moved over here and had it restored by a professional company. So it's had about 2,000 miles put on the restoration. It's great. So it's still a 55,000, plus mile car. So very nice, very original, no rust, lived in a dry climate. Yeah, it's a great car. I want to take you inside the interior. Now, the interior of this car was originally charcoal, and it still is. They maintained the same color, but what they did is they refinished it in leather, and they did a really nice job. As you can see, the door panels. This is an original 56, the original 56 seat, but it's been refoamed and reupholstered in this nice leather. Got a nice custom matched steering wheel that's also billet, and it matches the color scheme of the car. The tach, of course, is aftermarket, and you've got aftermarket auxiliary gauges down there, but your dash gauges work also, with the exception of your temp gauge. The fuel gauge works, and the odometer works, and the speedometer works, but your temp gauge is now going to be an accessory gauge. This is a tilt column that's chrome. You'll note the headliner is also very nice. Little dome light working away up there. So everything works properly on the car. I want to show you this too. If you've lived in the hot rod world for a while, you probably already know about this, but if you haven't, or you haven't ever seen this, it's kind of cool. You'll notice that these door handles and so forth, these are original door handles. So you would have cranked the window up, but now these are electric windows, so you just hold it up like that and the window rolls up. Or if you want the window down, you just push on it and it lowers the window down. So kind of a nice little feature. All your jams, of course, in here are painted very nicely. Again, the engine is a 350, and the transmission is a 6-speed manual, and it's a Richmond 5-speed. Richmond 5-speed manual. Let me show you under the hood here. Again, Chevrolet 350. Nicely built. It's got a pretty good sized carburetor on there, but it works very well with the car. Got a polished aluminum manifold, jet hot coated headers, you know, the usual chrome alternator. You've got nice aluminum pulleys, power steering, again power 4-wheel disc brakes, electronic ignition. So you got an electric fan for the radiator out front here. It's very clean, it's very nice, and this car just drives beautifully. It drives so nice. Of course, everything has been restored, as you can see. You know, another thing I want to point out, if you haven't done so already, and if you're interested, you might check the website, westcoastcollectorcars.com. Of course, you know, I get pictures of the undercarriage. The undercarriage of this thing is ridiculous. It's white under there. So, you know, the body of the car underneath is white, and the frame, of course, is powder coated. This was a frame off rotisserie restoration of an already low mile, no rust, single family owned car. So, you know, it's kind of about as good as it gets in terms of that combo. So what I'd like to do now is I'll jump in the car, I'll start it, you'll hear it run, it sounds great. It's got a nice dual exhaust system, nice little camshaft in there, and I'll just drive it around the parking lot a little bit so you can kind of see it move under its own power. It has been professionally lowered as well. These are dropped A-arms. They're about 2-inch dropped A-arms there. So the suspension is basically a stock suspension, but of course all rebuilt components. I want to point out too, you know, your hood. This is a big hood, and it aligns just nicely as well. Did a fantastic job on this car. don't know about you, but I like listening to that all day long. I love that. Again, you know, everything is clean and nice in here. All the stainless and so forth associated with the shifter and the rubber boot. You got nice clean, of course, matching to the car gauges. Dash is nice and painted. Headliner's nice up here. The door flappers, you know, when you open the door, they work great. No issues there. The back seat, of course, you know, is nice in most cars, but this one's, you know, no exception. You got a third brake light back there. It's just a spectacular car, really. I mean, if you want a 56 Chevy, you know, you'd really be hard-pressed to find a better one, really. I mean, I know there's some that are, you know, ridiculous over the top, but what I like about this one is they didn't really deviate, you know, too much from the original, which is cool. Just some nice upgrades, you know, upgrades that we all like in terms of driving ability. So if I can answer any further questions for you about this Chevy, don't hesitate to call me. Again, my name is Rich Dean. This is West Coast Collector Cars. My number is 503-851-6763, and thank you for watching today.